So we will begin with number 2 is Susan VanderPlas. And Alex VanderPlas, please be number 2.
Hi, my name is Susan VanderPlas, and I'm an associate professor of statistics. Statisticians are usually pretty quiet people. But this semester, I've seen what it takes to get us pissed off. You really just have to come for the data. Over the past 2.5 months, I've made so many new friends on campus. Most people realize the importance of data in helping make good decisions. But these budget cuts are based on data that was analyzed and interpreted badly, which led to bad conclusions. On September 12th, the cuts became public, and a shockwave swept across our field. We had a letter of support from Penn State on Monday, before anybody had reached out to ask for it. And more letters, and more letters, and more letters arrived. The general consensus was, who would be crazy enough to cut statistics in the age of AI? Who indeed? On Tuesday, in Faculty Senate, President Gold addressed the faculty, telling us to grow enrollment, expand new programs, increase grants, and create public-private partnerships. Well, statistics started an undergraduate program in 2022. And we started small, but experience at other universities suggests that it will continue to grow rapidly, if you let it. We have plans for an online master's program that will be even more profitable. And I just got an NSF Career Award, and getting an NSF grant this year was almost an extra award in and of itself. We also just formed a partnership with Spoehr to fund a graduate student. So in essence, we're doing everything that we can to make the university successful. We just need enough time to realize those gains. But there's more. We tried to alert the administration to the issues with the analysis. We've had meetings, sent countless emails, given seminars on campus, and no one in administration had ears to hear. We found cross-college savings equivalent to 10 faculty members through consolidating redundant courses. We implemented more efficient instruction by increasing class sizes. All in all, we came up with the savings and increased revenue that more than covers our department's expenses. But no one in administration had ears to hear. Statistics is a vital discipline. Of the 18 schools in the Big Ten, only Oregon doesn't have a stats group on campus, and they're hiring this year. Eliminating statistics will cripple this university. It'll damage its reputation, and it'll make re-entry into the AAU a laughable goal. So today, we make our appeal to you. Please hear us. Please let us start new research projects with the collaborators that we've made friends with this semester. Please let us grow our undergraduate programs in statistics and data science and the minor in digital ag. Please let us help this university reach its potential and rejoin the AAU. And most of all, please give us permission to go back to our offices and play with our data rather than fighting these battles. So please reject the proposal to eliminate the statistics department and its programs. Thank you.
Thank you. Alex, Robert Seiss, you're number 4.
Hi, my name is Alex. I'm 9 years old, and my mom is a professor at the stats department. I came today because I don't think you should cut programs at UNL. I want to be a paleo artist or a paleontologist when I grow up. That means I need to learn about geography, anatomy, and climates, and biography and art. In 10 years, I'll be ready to go to college. The EES department is where you learn about rocks. My mom says that all scientists need to know a lot about stats so they can do better science. If you cut those departments, how will people at UNL become scientists? These cuts mean that even if we stay in Nebraska, I would have to go to a different college somewhere else. Somewhere that has classes and teachers that will help me learn where to dig up plesiosaurs, mammoths, and spinosauruses. If you cut the departments and degrees at UNL, lots of people will have to leave Nebraska to learn things they want to learn. That means UNL will make less money, and people won't be able to study and still go home to see their families. I guess if my mom gets a job near Chicago, I can go to the Field Museum instead of Moore Hall. But I still don't want to move. I was born in Nebraska, and I have lived there most of my life. I love my school at Blue Stem Montessori. My friends, some of them have parents in other departments that will be cut. That means our community will be torn apart. Your job is to protect the university and make sure it helps Nebraska and Nebraskans like me that want to study rocks and numbers and quilts and weather and other things. Please don't cut the departments at UNO. Preserve them for the future and more Nebraskans, so more Nebraskans can be Huskers.
Thank you, Alex. Bhaskar and Cheryl Fritz, you're on deck, please.
Good morning, Regents. My name is Bhaskar Bhattacharya. I am the head of the Department of Statistics that is proposed to be eliminated. My proposal creates a unified Department of Statistics and Biostatistics which meets the required UNL reduction and advances the One NU vision. Nebraska's economic future is tied directly to the bioeconomy, which is agriculture, biotechnology, biomanufacturing, water and natural resources, and health data science. Statistics is the analytical foundation of this entire ecosystem. Eliminating the UNL Department of Statistics would significantly weaken the statewide research capacity, jeopardize federal funding competitiveness, and position Nebraska as a national outlier. Nearly all Big Ten and AAU institutions maintain dedicated statistics departments. Elimination would signal a retreat from core scientific capacity at a time when peers are expanding analytics infrastructure. My proposal offers a stronger, future-focused alternative. Merge UNL statistics and UNMC biostatistics into a unified Department of Statistics and Biostatistics, aligned with the university's new One NU model and joint accreditation. This merger achieves the required UNL reductions, preserves essential capacity, and strengthens NU system-wide. It meets the 1.75 million UNL permanent reduction requirement through faculty attrition, 12-month to 9-month conversions, administrative consolidation, instructional efficiencies, and operating reductions, and has no reliance on UNMC funds. The regents face not a binary choice between elimination and the status quo, but a compelling third option, a unified Department of Statistics and Biostatistics that meets the required UNL reductions and advances the One NU vision. Wisconsin, Cornell, Clemson, and Kentucky have already done this merger successfully. Finally, I have offered to step back from my role as department head to a 9-month appointment and resign my leadership role to help maintain this critical asset for Nebraska and advance the One NU vision. Thank you.
Thank you. Thomas, you're up. Adam Houston, you're on deck.
Hello, my name is Thomas Spoehr, and I'm a first-year PhD student in statistics from Bennington, Nebraska. While I went out of state for my undergraduate degree in math for athletic reasons, I came back to Nebraska for an MA in mathematics from UNO. Over the last summer, I completed an internship in Snyder, Nebraska at Spoehr Fire Apparatus, where I used my data analysis skills to monitor vendor quality. My analysis skills resulted in gained profitability for the plant and contributed to a company-wide quarterly bonus for all employees. Because of this success, I was offered a high-paying job from this company, but instead opted to come to UNL for a PhD in statistics in hopes of returning to the Nebraska job market much better prepared to optimize, improve, and develop enhanced procedures for Nebraska-based companies. A PhD in statistics would give me the necessary quantitative training to transform into extraordinary data scientist for a company such as Spoehr's. Though the university leadership has assured students like myself avenues forward to completing my PhD, they have not been transparent about the faculty I'd be working with, and given the department's elimination, the faculty I plan on working with would not be here. Hope is not a plan. And with the opaqueness of the teach-out program, absence of graduate funding, and overall uncertainty of the quality education I would receive, I'd be forced to transfer somewhere else to complete my PhD. As someone with intentions of starting a family soon, and my fiance becoming an established healthcare provider in this new location, going somewhere else for a PhD in statistics would likely lead to leaving the state forever. I don't want to be another person who contributes to brain drain, where highly educated individuals leave Nebraska for opportunities elsewhere that plagues our state. I chose the PhD program in statistics because I want to get involved with the department's research. I have a special interest in experimental design, where I analyze the best way to obtain data from agricultural experience to better produce crop yields. My dream is to obtain a doctoral degree in statistics from the university and move back to my fiance's farm near West Point, Nebraska. My goal is to pursue an occupation and company creating superior methodologies to gain better yields for farmers and improve profitability in the agricultural sector. I am a proud native Nebraskan. I love this state. This university system has afforded me the opportunity to obtain a master's degree. My pickup line in my fiance and I's relationship was, "Are you from Nebraska?" I have a picture sitting on my dresser that I look at every morning of the final Big 12 game between Colorado and Nebraska of me and my dad when I was 10 years old. I am asking you to reconsider these cuts for the future of my family, the economic future of this state, and the academic well-being of this university. Thank you for your public service, your time, and your consideration.
Thank you, Thomas. Dr. Bibler and Erin Blankenship is on deck.
Hello, I am Chris Bilder, professor in the UNL Department of Statistics since 2003. I am proud to be a native Nebraskan. I grew up in Omaha and graduated from Millard South. I am also proud to be a UNO graduate. I earned a BS from UNO, where I was on a Regents scholarship, and I graduated summa cum laude. And I am proud to be a statistician, a data scientist. I'm a fellow of the American Statistical Association, which is like being in the Statistics Hall of Fame. Unfortunately, I am no longer proud to be part of UNL. And for the first time in my life, I can't even go to Husker athletic events. The reason is because of what has occurred around these budget cuts. UNL administrators want to eliminate my department of statistics and others through a misuse of my field, statistics. They have mislabeled my department as underperforming through what they call the UNL metrics analyses. This is a ruse for saying that there is a bona fide reason to eliminate. We, my department, we repeatedly communicated with administrators about their errors, but they didn't believe us. We requested multiple times that they obtain an external, independent evaluation by PhD statisticians, but they didn't respond to us directly. We invited them to participate with us in a campus-wide seminar to present our cases, but they declined. Now, myself and others have filed ethics point reports. I filed mine 19 days ago and have not received any word that is even being investigated. So what if we did examine the administrator's data and metrics correctly to evaluate my department? Well, with respect to the Scholarly Research Index metric for overall research productivity, my department is 27th out of 123 different departments of statistics in the U.S. I am proud of that. And this means my department is a higher performing department. With respect to AAU, Big Ten departments of statistics, my department fits right in the middle. So we, the UNL Department of Statistics, is ready for the AAU. Now I will end with a quote from Tiffany Hang-Moss, INR Vice Chancellor. When she told us that statistics was proposed for elimination, she also said the following: "I don't know how you," meaning UNL, "are a comprehensive R1 land-grant institution without having a presence in statistics." We completely agree with you. Note that a presence in statistics is not the distributed model meant to replace us. Going from a department of statistics to a distributed model is like going from having a heart transplant done at Nebraska Medicine to now having it done at a CVS Minute Clinic. Thank you. Retain the Department of Statistics.
Thank you, Chris. Erin, you're up. Reka Howard is on deck.
My name is Erin Blankenship, and I'm John E. Weaver Professor of Statistics. I would like to speak to you about the opportunities that Nebraska students will lose without the Department of Statistics at UNL and how that translates into a monetary loss for the university. When we were told about our department was up for elimination, the administrators acknowledged a comprehensive land grant R1 cannot exist without statistics. Here's why. Stats expertise is vital to any enterprise that collects data and is therefore critical to the Nebraska and U.S. economies. The number of stat degrees awarded at every level has exploded in the last 30 years. In 1993, there were about 500 undergrad degrees awarded. In 2023, there were over 5,000. The same patterns are seen in MS and PhDs, and these still aren't enough to keep up with the job market. The Nebraska Department of Labor estimates job growth of 25% by 2032. The stat business is booming, and hoping to capitalize on this, the UNL administration urged us to develop an undergrad degree in stat. It was approved in 2021, and we welcomed our first cohort in 2022. These students will not even graduate until later this academic year. The program we designed is in complete alignment with the extraordinary teaching and learning pillar of the Odyssey to Extraordinary, particularly the curriculum innovation and alignment priority. We did indeed reimagine the traditional stat undergrad curriculum, incorporating communication and collaboration skills not typically seen in undergrad programs. We scaffolded theory, applications, and computing across the curriculum to create data professionals who are ready to take on challenging problems immediately upon graduation. We currently have 34 undergrad majors. Our peer institutions with more established programs have between 150 and 170. If UNL experiences this same trajectory, we could expect to at least double our numbers over the next few years, which would generate $460,000 in tuition. Tripling would generate over $900,000. Without statistics, UNL will lose those tuition dollars to schools like Iowa, Iowa State, and Kansas State. We also need to consider data science. The data science major is a collaboration between 3 UNL colleges, and there are currently 128 students. Only the pathway through STAT is proposed for elimination, but STAT coursework is a fundamental component of the data science curriculum for students in all pathways. Without strong STAT training, data science grads will not be competitive in the job market, and recruitment and retention will suffer. The consequences of data science without statistics are these metrics. But stat and data science majors are not the only students that will lose opportunities, and this will also translate into a monetary loss for the university. Stat generates a lot of credit hours, but only 5 essential courses were named in the distributed model plan. If you consider all the other courses we offer, $2.1 million worth of tuition were generated over the last 2 academic years. Most of this did not come from stat students. Students in other disciplines will lose the course content knowledge, and UNL will lose the revenue. Cutting statistics is a lose-lose proposition. Thank you.
Thanks, Erin. Reka Howard, you're up. Derek Dornside is on deck.
Good morning. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. My name is Reka Howard. I'm an associate professor and director of consulting in the Department of Statistics at UNL, and I am also a courtesy professor in the Department of Agronomy and Horticulture at UNL. I joined UNL in 2016, and I hold a co-PhD from Iowa State University in statistics and plant breeding. My career has been built at the intersection of these 2 fields, and that intersection is exactly why I'm here today. First, the statistical consulting program at UNL is one of the most effective and rigorous in the country, and is directly depend on the strength of a statistics department. I currently work with 5 PhD students who are statistics PhD students, and all of whom must pass every master's level statistics core course, 2 consulting courses, and a written PhD qualifier just to be eligible to work at the consulting desk. Consulting is not a side activity. It's a core part of our students' education. They learn to communicate, collaborate, and solve real analytical problems. And it actually works. Graduates who have worked at the consulting desk are consistently hired into high-level statistical consulting and data science positions with ease. Beyond service, our consulting program fosters multidisciplinary research. Students bring new ideas, and together with faculty across campus, we develop projects that would not exist without a strong statistics department at the center. This multidisciplinary work is especially meaningful to me because of my own background. My training and experience in statistics and plant breeding allows me to understand the analytical challenges breeders face. My passion for plant breeding has led me to teach statistics courses in the area of agronomy, serve on numerous master's and PhD committees, and collaborate closely with faculty and students across the College of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources. Having worked with plant breeders in both the public and private sectors, I cannot emphasize this enough. Plant breeding today is impossible without advanced statistics. Introductory statistics is not sufficient, not for genomic prediction, not for multi-environmental trials, not for genotype by environment modeling, and not for the high-throughput phenotyping data that Nebraska researchers now generate. Our agronomy students depend on statisticians for their research, and Nebraska producers ultimately depend on the varieties those students and faculty develop. So the statistics department is essential for training the next generation of consultants, for supporting the entire university's research enterprise, and for ensuring Nebraska remains a national leader.
Thank you for your time. 3
Thank
minutes are
you.
up.
Thank you, Reka. Derek, you're up. Erin, you're up. Joseph Kowalski is on deck.
Hello, my name is Arian Alai, and I'm a second-year graduate student and teaching assistant for the Department of Statistics at UNL. And I also have about 2.5 years of work experience in Nebraska's workforce at Sandhills Global, which is one of Nebraska's major employers. And I'm here today to ask you to reject the proposed elimination of the Statistics Department at UNL. This is the only statistics department at in the entire state of Nebraska, and it's the only department that was specifically designed to establish a firm foundation in both statistical theory and broad applications. Before I came to UNL, I worked full-time as an analyst for Sandhills Global, and I worked among data scientists who were developing machine learning and generative AI tools, and I didn't have the graduate level education that they had to be able to do what they were doing. But my colleagues were consistently telling me that if I wanted to do research and development, then the best thing to study was statistics, because statistics provides the necessary skill set for applied research. So eventually, after some time working as an analyst, I went back to school to get my graduate degree in statistics at UNL, and just 1 year into UNL's statistics program, I was able to make significant contributions in research and development at Sandhills last summer, working 40-hour weeks, and I was able to support improvements to Sandhills' internal AI chatbots and built a statistical model that classifies leads for the salespeople at Sandhills. That impact was possible because of the rigorous statistical training that I received through our department. Sandhills is just one of many employers in Nebraska that rely on graduates from our program. Alumni from this department hold key roles across major companies across Nebraska in many different industries. And since it's difficult to recruit outside of Nebraska, it's important for us to prepare in-state students with formal statistical training. Eliminating the only statistics department in Nebraska would force future students to leave the state and would weaken Nebraska's ability to meet growing workforce demands in tech and business and agriculture and animal science and food science and healthcare and every other industry that involves statistics. Cutting our department would only address 6.36% of the $27.5 million shortfall proposed by the Chancellor, and would do so at the expense of educational opportunities for students and to research and talent acquisition for employers in Nebraska. If you remove the engine of a car, you save a lot of gas, but you don't go anywhere. And if you remove, likewise, if you remove a core discipline like statistics, it will solve a short-term problem, but it will cause long-term problems. Sorry. So I ask you to consider the long-term consequences of a short-term decision and reject the recommended elimination of our statistics department. And I thank you for your time and your service. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Erin. Ronald is next. Sanjay is number 2.
Hi. As universities worldwide expand statistics and data science, UNL risks going back by doing the opposite. Dismissing the value of data will harm Nebraskans. The damage may be irreversible. I am Dr. Indranil Mukhopadhyay, a full professor in UNL's statistics department specializing in statistical genetics. I joined UNL last year because of the department's strong and growing reputation, leaving a very stable job in an internationally reputed institute. Statistical genetics applies advanced statistical methods to genetics data It is vital to agriculture, livestock improvement, and human health. For Nebraska's agriculture-driven economy, this expertise is indispensable. In crop farming, statistical genetics identifies high-yield, pest and disease-resistant plant varieties. Expert analysis helps farmers turn huge and complex data on fertility, soil fertility, irrigation, genotypes, weather, and other factors into decisions that prevent losses and increase profits. In livestock, advanced statistical methods guide the selection of animals with superior genetic traits, identifying top-performing animals. Modern datasets are massive. Using simple or outdated tools risks costly errors, while proper statistical genetics yields sustained gains. In human health, statistical genetics identifies inherited disease risks, such as BRCA1 gene linked to high breast cancer risk was discovered entirely through statistical analysis. Similar methods drive research on heart disease, diabetes, and more. Statistics also supports public health. During COVID-19, we developed a model that helped 2 Indian states control early transmission, saving huge millions of lives. UNL does not yet offer a proper statistical genetics course, but we are creating one and organizing a 6-day workshop very soon. This expertise exists only within the statistics department. Only a statistician with PhD can provide it. Someone with just a few statistics courses cannot. For your information, UNL Graduate Council voted 10-0 to retain our department. Executive Grad Council voted 8-0, and APC voted 13-8 to retain our department. President Gold shows us that 3D holographic facility for advanced medical science. That's great, that IXL, this is an amazing thing. But what is the basis of this IXL? That is statistics and machine learning. Without this thing, you cannot build this kind of software, this kind of tool. Eliminating the statistics department removes experts whose work directly supports Nebraska's agriculture, livestock, medicine, public health, and research. The consequences will touch every Nebraskan, and by the time we recognize the loss, it may be too late to reverse it. Thank you.
Thank you. Sanjay, you're next. Dixon, number 2.
Hello, my name is Sanjay Chaudhuri. I'm a tenured associate professor in the Department of Statistics at UNL. I stand before you today to respectfully request that the Board of Regents not to eliminate my department. I joined UNL 2.5 years ago from the National University of Singapore, where I held a tenured position for over 18 years. I was excited to join a growing, dynamic, and highly visible department where the future looked bright. But this September, we were told that our department would be eliminated. A standalone statistics department was not deemed essential for UNL or Nebraska. The undergraduate and the graduate programs we will build were considered unnecessary. Only a minimal collection of courses would be kept under a distributed model. If implemented, this would be a disastrous step, harming the university and depriving Nebraska's youth for years to come. Statistics is now one of the most essential and fastest growing STEM field. Eliminating UNL statistics department would deny students vital skills, leaving graduates unprepared for a data-driven industries like AI and limiting their long-term career prospects. Without a strong statistics program, our students wouldn't be future ready, and only a statistics department can ensure that they are. AI will drive future economic growth, and statistics are its core foundation. Keeping up with the rapid AI developments require a unified, coordinated effort that can only a centralized statistics department can provide. A distributed model will simply cannot deliver that. There will be no AI without statistics. Statistics is the lingua franca of research. Federal funding agencies increasingly require statisticians on major STEM projects. Disparate expertise will not meet this expectation. Without a dedicated statistics department, UNL risks losing research competitiveness and funding. Such a department is essential to sustain the university's research strength and reputation. Statistics drives emerging fields and key industries. From AI and data science and agriculture and bioinformatics, it is vital for Nebraska's bioeconomy. In the world ahead, data literacy is not optional. It's a fundamental to success. I understand that budgets must be balanced, and God willing, this crisis will pass. But once a statistics department is eliminated, it can take a generations to rebuild. At many universities, statistics programs have become a reliable revenue generators, and we risk losing that opportunity. Its elimination would not be smart, and it won't even be rational.
With that, I would request the BOR to hit the pause button on the elimination of statistics. 2 graduate councils unanimously rejected this move. A majority of APC voted against. I urge you, instead of this fait accompli, let's discuss the proposed alternatives and avoid a long-term harm to UNL and the state of Nebraska. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay. Dixon, you're up. Alex Richmond, number 2.
Hello everyone, my name is Dixon Vimalajeewa. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Statistics. Thank you for giving me a few minutes. I want to explain in simple terms why eliminating the statistics department would actually cost the university more financially, academically, and reputationally than keeping it. Statistics is not just another major. It is a department that helps every college on campus to make sense of their data, design studies that work, and win grants. Almost every modern research project needs statistics. If you remove the department, that expertise will disappear. Right now, statistics is seen as an extra expense, but in reality, it is one of the easiest units to turn into a revenue generator. With only a small investment, statistics can bring in over millions of dollars a year simply by being included on the grants that other departments are already writing. This is money the university is currently leaving on the table. There is also a huge opportunity in education as well. If you keep the department, UNL can offer professional master's program and data science certificate that students and employees are begging for. These programs would bring in hundreds of thousands of dollars in a year in new tuition revenue. Eliminating the statistic closes this door completely and sends those students and their tuition to other states. But the financial consequences are only part of this story. If statistics disappear, UNL risks losing federal research grant because agencies like NIH, USDA require strong statistical oversight. We could damage our R1 status and the reputation as a serious research university. Other universities, our competitors, have been building school of data science. Closing ours sends opposite signal that Nebraska is moving backward in a data-driven world. And finally, I want to speak about the people. We have graduate students who moved their entire lives here just week ago. We also have new faculty who relocated families, brought home, and trusted UNL's promise of support. These are the people who will pay the price for decisions made right after they arrived. They do not deserve to carry the burden of past financial mismanagement. They deserve stability, mentorship, and a chance to build careers that make Nebraska proud. Eliminating the statistics department is a permanent decision with serious consequences, but keeping it opens the door to new revenue, stronger research, better student program, and healthier university. We are not asking for protection. We are asking for a fair chance to contribute to the UNL future. Thank you.
Thank you, Dixon. Jennifer Clarke, you're next. John Colby, number 2.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Clarke. I'm a voluntary Nebraskan. I joined UNL in 2013 as a faculty member in food science and technology and statistics. I came to Nebraska from R1 AAU member institutions, Carnegie Mellon University, Pennsylvania State University, Duke University, and the University of Miami School of Medicine and their NCI-designated cancer center. I've served on the Academic Planning Committee since 2017. I care deeply about the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. My husband and I have dedicated over a decade of our careers to improving the flagship institution of the Nebraska system. As Professor Hanrahan and others have eloquently stated, we have cut and cut and cut $75 million in the last 5 years alone, while continuing to meet the higher education needs of Nebraskans. We recognize the importance of being excellent stewards of resources, those of the state, our stakeholders, and our students. The leadership of UNL has made a good faith effort to develop a proposal that they believe will address the budget shortfall. Unfortunately, due to poor data, unrealistic timelines, and failure to consider the impacts on revenue, the result will threaten our standing in the Big Ten and our stated goal of achieving AAU status. We observed during the campus budget hearings that faculty and units, when empowered, can come up with creative solutions that cut spending and create revenue while maintaining programs. This creativity and dedication were not leveraged during the proposal development process and were ignored when it was brought to the attention of campus leadership. Not enough time to make changes. Additional time would allow the units on the Lincoln campus to put their creativity towards an improved proposal that carefully considers reputation and revenue, as well as expenses. The programs proposed for elimination have been characterized in the Board of Regents documents as weak with respect to AAU recognition potential impact. In fact, these programs have a positive impact on our AAU recognition and rank favorably compared to their AAU peers. Our campus is afraid and angry. Why is this? Because the selection of programs for elimination makes no sense, and we know it, and puts every program at risk. We cannot prepare the workforce of the future and drive the economy in Nebraska without these programs. Thank you.
Thanks, Jennifer. Walter, you're up. Kate Stapleton, you're on deck.
Ready? My name is Walt Stroup. I'm an emeritus professor and the founding chair of the University of Nebraska Department of Statistics. I have 4 points I'd like to make with respect to the proposed elimination of the Department of Statistics. The distributed or collective model that the chancellor proposes is actually what was in place when I joined the faculty in 1979. It did not work. The last straw that motivated the creation of the Department of Statistics occurred in 2001 when the math division of the statistics division of the math department needed to fill vacated positions. They interviewed several candidates. They made 5 offers. They were all rejected. They were rejected because UNL did not have a Department of Statistics, and those faculty members were not willing to come here. This motivates a question. If 12 faculty in statistics are eliminated, what's the plan to hire quality faculty to staff the distributed model? The academic planning, my second point is the academic planning committee advocated a combine and preserve approach as opposed to an eliminate and destroy approach. There are other universities that are pursuing the combine and preserve models, and they're working. One of them at my alma mater, University of Kentucky, there's close integration between the statistics and the biostatistics programs. Since UNL is merging its accreditation with UNMC, this is a model that ought to be explored. The University of Wisconsin has merged computer science, math, and statistics into a school of quantitative and data science, and they're pouring money into it, and it's their fastest growing major. Both of these programs have a big revenue stream with respect or relative to the size of their faculty. My third point is our leaders worry about brain drain. So if I'm talking to a talented high school student who's interested in a career in statistics and data science, what am I supposed to tell them? Embrace being a Badger, embrace being a Wildcat, go to Kentucky or Wisconsin. UNL doesn't have anything to offer you. Fourth point, consulting and research at an R1 level university requires attachment to R1 level degree and research programs. Otherwise, what you're doing is analogous to replacing a medical college with an urgent care clinic. The urgent care clinic can deal with known procedures for known diseases, but if you forfeit the ability to innovate anything when something novel comes along, and we're dealing with active areas of research that are constantly...
Thank you for your comments.
Okay.
Your 3 minutes are up.
Thank you, Walter. Paterno and Heike Hofmann will be number 2.
Hello, Regents. My name is Souparno Ghosh. I'm a professor in the UNL Department of Statistics. I stand before you today to request not to eliminate the statistics department at UNL. It was widely advertised that elimination of the stat department will probably save $1.75 million. But at what cost? Well, let's take a look. We are living in the age of AI, and statistics lies at the very core of AI. In UNL, A significant portion of our statistics faculty are advancing the frontiers of AI through federally funded research that spans mathematical foundations of AI, cutting-edge data visualization and analytics, and development of novel AI tools for digital ag. Eliminating this department would not only dismantle this high-impact research program, but also severely undermine UNL's capacity to contribute and to benefit from the AI revolution. Why does that matter? Because leading public research universities, particularly the AAU schools, are making bold strategic investments in AI. Some examples: January 31, 2024, UT Austin launched the Year of AI initiative. It included a major faculty recruitment drive and $25 million investment. July 25, UCF, another AAU school, established the Institute of AI, backed by over $50 million in strategic investment. November 26, 2025, Ohio State University announced a sweeping AI faculty hiring recruitment initiative with 100 new tenure-track faculty over for 5 years. December 1, 2025, Texas A&M University committed $25 million to hire 167 new faculty with strong emphasis on STEM and related field. In this national context, the elimination of Nebraska's only stat department would amount to disinvestment from AI. At precisely the moment when peer institutions are doubling down on AI. If our goal is to attain AU membership or even remain competitive, can we afford to move in the opposite direction? Regents, the elimination plan presented to you will not support extraordinary research. It jeopardizes NU's capacity to cultivate a future-ready workforce and undermines university's long-term vision. Simply put, this plan will not take you on the odyssey to extraordinary. It will leave you stranded far away from it. There is a challenge in this opportunity, and this moment is no exception. The faculty across UNL are galvanized and forging a deep sense of unity and shared purpose. In this extraordinary show of solidarity, they have proposed some amazing plans to get you the savings that was proposed, and at the same time,
Thank you. Your 3 minutes are up.
Thank you, Professor Ghosh. Heike, you're next. Elizabeth Lewis is number 2.
Thank you for hearing me. My name is Heike Hofmann. I'm a professor in the Department of Statistics. Statistics is the science behind AI. It's one of the foundational cornerstones of science. Every quantitative field relies in some way on statistics. For a research university, it is of the utmost importance to get these statistics done right. In the last 2 years, more than 20,000 published papers had to be retracted. The number one issue for paper retractions are concerns over the data, followed by wrong conclusions and issues with the methodology. I'm standing here because of a data analysis that has all 3 of these fatal flaws. The data that was assembled for the budget cuts has many errors. Lots of departments, not just the affected departments, lots of departments have pointed out errors with the data. The statistics department has pointed out errors with the methodology. None of these errors have been addressed. Instead, we were told the errors didn't matter because they affected all departments the same way. That's not how data errors work. We were told that at this point the metrics would not be changed anymore. We were also told that the input of the statistics department would not be considered because the statistics department had not traditionally been involved in the process. It's not for the lack of offering help that I'm standing in front of you today. This flawed data analysis makes the statistics department look very poor. This is very far from the truth, the statistics department is a highly ranked national department for its outstanding research performance. It is ranked above 9 public universities in the AAU and 5 other private universities also in the AAU. Not only does the stats department hold its own, it's also uplifting other sciences. Cutting the department comes with huge losses in revenue, with a loss in the rigor of academic training, with a loss of
Thank
reputation.
you. Your 3 minutes are up. Thank you.
Thank you. M. Ning?
Dear Board of Regents members, my name is Minh Nguyen, and I'm currently a PhD student at the Department of Statistics. I came here today to share with you my perspective on why the Chandler's proposal to eliminate programs and department is a short-term solution that will result in a long-term loss of students. 3 weeks ago, I talked to a friend of mine in Nebraska who has a nephew who wants to study computer science and math. She asked me if he should come here to study. If this question were raised to me 3 months ago, I would have not hesitated to say yes. But as of now, I'm sorry, I can't. Because even though his department is not being proposed to be eliminated, but it is very, very clear that if any department can be eliminated, no matter how important it is, then any department can be eliminated in the future. And sorry, I cannot put his future at risk. Second, I came here 3 years ago because of the reputation of my advisor and also other professors at the Department of Statistics. If I have known at the time that UNL has ever eliminated a department, especially for a reason not related to conduct, I'm sorry, I would never come here. So the story of my friend's nephew and me tells you that if a program or a department is eliminated, lots of students will not come here. Well, maybe except for students from Nebraska who want to study here because they want to be close to the family and home. But please note that as of now, 30% of students at UNL are not from Nebraska. So that is a significant loss of students if they decided not to come here because the future to study here is not safe. And it's not only hurt Nebraska, it also hurt UNL, it's also going to hurt Nebraska. Dear Board of Regents, I believe that the leadership executive team has hardworking professionals, but the fact of the matter is they did not involve any people that spend their whole life working and living here. They are not, lots of them are not Nebraska native, and they can move anytime. As of now, one is already leaving. Should make you question whether they put the future of Nebraska at the heart of the decision. You, on the other hand, are Nebraska native, and I believe that at the bottom of your heart, you want to do everything that you can to protect the future of Nebraska. Because of that, I urge you not to follow the Chandler's proposal to eliminate department or program, which again is a short-term solution that will lead to a long-term loss of students, of faculty, and to Nebraska. Thank you.
Thank you. Rayne Aurit. Carson Trego was number 2.
Hello, Regents. My name is Rayne Aurit, a junior majoring in statistics and data analytics and computer science. I am a Nebraska Career Scholar, much like many of my statistics peers. The Nebraska Career Scholarship is awarded to, quote, only students in certain high-demand fields in Nebraska. It says this is a highly selective scholarship since the number of awards is limited due to available funding appropriated by the state of Nebraska. For my first year of college, I was awarded $17,750 because my major is in demand. By graduation, I will have received $41,750 saying that statistics and data analytics is in demand in Nebraska. My sister Lizzie Aurit is a presidential scholar in the same boat with meteorology. She is unable to be here due to surgery after a fall on the unsalted sidewalks just outside her resident hall on Monday. My mother, Dr. Sarah Aurit, is a recent summer graduate of the statistics department as well. Furthermore, I want to speak about these past few months and all the efforts that I have made to make my voice heard. Within the first week of the budget cuts news, I made an Instagram account called I Love Statistics UNL. In under 4 days, the account amassed over 105,000 views and reached over 24,000 accounts. Currently, it reached over 33,000 accounts. The slogan was, "I'm a Husker Who," and then variations of positive messages showing support for the impacted students and faculty as a parody of Husker and. I reached out to ASIN to help create and do chalk for the Huskers Have a Say event, where people could come together and show their support as well. I spoke at the APC hearing for statistics. I was interviewed on 5 separate occasions. I attended the statistical seminar with the record-breaking attendance about the faulty metrics. Then the tone began to change. I started with positive messages, ways to reach out for people to show support instead of negative criticism against these cuts. But after months, and continuously being told that the process will not be paused despite much quantitative error and lack of transparency, that statistics is still on the chopping block, and being told repeatedly that I personally will be fine, I and many others feel ignored. The administrator who made me feel most hurt and met with me personally is somebody who is also impacted by these cuts, our Dean of Students, TJ McDowell. Thank you so much, TJ. As a statistics student, I was able to do research, even as a sophomore, underneath Dr. Ghosh. I learned about the foundations of statistics in courses taught by Dr. Blankenship for 4 semesters in a row. I traveled to Sioux this semester to act as a consultant to local high schoolers for a course taught by Dr. Howard. I created lesson plans and taught youth about statistics and artificial intelligence over the summer underneath Dr. Stanke as a Nebraska Extension 4-H intern. I love statistics and all the valuable opportunities that it has given me to make a positive impact, and I hope it can give me and many others many more. So lastly, I ask you to look at me, a Husker who simply wants to be able to study statistics and learn without interruptions, and to choose to vote against these eliminations that have made this semester the most stressful semester in all my years of schooling. Please let your vote answer this question: do Huskers have a say? Thank you.
Thank you. Carson, you're up. Michelle Harvey, you're number 2.
Wow, so we were going on 4.5 hours, quite long today. Really appreciate you for staying here and hearing us all out as students. Again, once, hats off to the board. I'm Carson Trego. I am a student here at UNL, and I would just like to mention that I'm a little worried for the university, as it has been very heartwarming to see that many professors, not only within the areas that are involved with the cuts, but professors from all over different departments and even other schools. We've even had some professors from out the country come to comment on it. I'm from North Platte. I've had plenty of people who have never gone to the college, uninvolved with it, reach out and ask me what's going on. And so this is bigger news than I had even thought. So I would just like to say that I think that the current budget cut could cause some serious harm with the perception of the university as far as prospective professors and students go. And so I humbly ask that we consider not going through with this proposed budget cut plan. And once again, just like to say thank you for taking the time to hear us out all here. 4.5 hours, and we're not even done yet, is quite a lot of time. So, I mean, I've been sitting here, it's been a long, and I just appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Ryan, you're up, and Nicole Harms is number 2.
Hello, Regents. I will try to keep this short. My name is Ryan Barent. I am a first-year statistics graduate student at UNL. I'm from Lincoln, Nebraska. I've lived here my entire life. I just want to start off by saying that I was deeply disappointed with the hasty proposal to eliminate the statistics department at UNL. Like I said, I have lived in Nebraska my entire life. My mom was born in Lincoln. My dad is from Ravenna. So this state means a lot to me, and the well-being of the state means a lot to me. I graduated from UNL last spring with a degree in biological sciences and data science. The latter I would not have been able to accomplish without the Department of Statistics. At said graduation, I shook Chancellor Bennett's hand, and he wished me well. Turns out that was a lie. The decision to cut the stats department is not only detrimental to the individuals affected, but the university as a whole. UNL is the flagship university of our state and is representative of the state. To be frank, these decisions are an embarrassment for Nebraskans. If our goal is to be competitive with our Big Ten peers in the future, this is not the way forward. So I am proud to be a Nebraskan, so I ask you as a Nebraskan to make the correct decision for the future of our state and vote to save the statistics department at UNL. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Nicole, you're up, and Kimberly Bilder is number 2.
Hello, my name is Nicole Harms, and I am currently a second-year master's student in the Department of Statistics and also a born and raised Nebraskan. Both of my parents are native Nebraskans who graduated from UNL, so I have grown up surrounded by a love for the state and the Cornhuskers, 2 loves that were subsequently passed along to me. Though I did not attend UNL for my undergrad, I was drawn here to pursue a graduate degree for one simple reason. This was the only university where I could pursue a graduate degree in statistics in the state that I love. It has been said throughout the budget reduction process that we cannot keep Nebraskan talent in this state if we don't offer a range of competitive programs to foster it. On the flip side, how can we expect to draw out-of-state and international talent when we don't offer programs that set us apart from other universities? I have met some brilliant minds here during my time, which I am proud to call my friends. A lot of these friends have literally crossed oceans to be here, and out of the many other institutions they could have possibly attended, they chose to make Nebraska their home. They chose to bring their talent here. So imagine their frustration in hearing that their program of study could be ripped away. Cutting whole departments is a cheap, short-term solution to a long-term problem, and what's more, a short-term fix with lasting consequences. Statistical expertise is imperative to credible research. As an R1 university, cutting the statistics department would actively work against UNL's goal of rejoining the AAU. If we begin to make a habit of cutting programs every time a budget deficit arises, at what point does it end? If all it takes is 3 months, faulty metrics, and little due process to completely gut entire programs, then frankly, I am scared for the future of this university. While I understand that part of the reason for the budget deficit lies beyond the hands of our university, that does not automatically make cutting programs the right solution to the problem, and certainly not when it's a decision made based on faulty data. One important part of statistics is approaching a problem from a number of different angles. There is nearly always more than one solution to a problem. It is then our job as statisticians to choose the best solution. I'd like to ask our university leaders to do the same. Look at different solutions to this budget problem and choose the best one. I don't know what the best solution is here, but I know it's not gutting entire programs. If our goal is to complete this odyssey to extraordinary, making rash decisions cannot and will not accomplish that goal. As a Nebraska native, I want to be proud of this university. I want this university to make decisions that build us up, not cut us down. So Regents, I ask you today to make a decision that reflects the university's desire for an odyssey towards extraordinary and not one that sends us spiraling downwards. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Nicole. Kimberly, you're up. And Alex Vansky is number 2.
My name is Kimberly Peschka Bilder, and I am a Nebraskan by choice. I earned my law degree from the UNL College of Law and devoted the first 18 years of my professional career advancing the mission of the University of Nebraska through my work at UNL and at the University of Nebraska Foundation. The statistics faculty have demonstrated that the substance of the Chancellor's proposal is based on a flawed analysis. You have evidence of the value that statistics and the other departments proposed for elimination contribute to the university and the state of Nebraska. This half-baked proposal has destroyed trust and confidence in this institution. But I'm not here to talk about substance. Several of you are attorneys, and like me, I know you get a little thrill thinking about rules and procedure. Board of Regents bylaws tell us that tenured faculty may be terminated for financial exigency or for a bona fide discontinuance of a program or department. Since you have not declared a financial exigency, then this proposed termination must be for the bona fide discontinuance of a program or a department. However, this process has not been conducted in good faith under UNL's bylaws or its budget reduction procedures. And therefore, any discontinuance of a department resulting from that process is not a bona fide discontinuance. UNL's bylaws require that all persons affected by a proposed elimination of a department have access to all relevant information, including detailed budget data. The budget reduction procedures require information used in the process be made available to affected programs in a timely manner so that corrections and explanations can be made before the proposal is released publicly. The procedures define consultation as more than just giving and receiving information. It allows all parties the opportunity and time necessary to explore and offer alternatives before decisions are made. The procedures state that working discussions include those units potentially affected by proposals prior to public release, and they provide that after the Chancellor has announced his framework document, that he will provide a specific budget proposal to stakeholders who will provide their feedback before the proposal is released to the public. Departments were notified of their proposed elimination on September 11th. The budget reduction plan was made public on September 12th. They had less than 24 hours to provide any meaningful feedback or alternatives, all without the context of the evidence and data used to formulate this plan. That is not how you treat people. That is not Nebraska nice.
Thank you, Kimberly. Sarah? And then Kenna will be number 2.
Hello, thank you for your time and attention. My name is Rayne Aurit. I'm an Air Force brat. I hail from Papillion. I'm a UNL civil engineering graduate, graduated with distinction from the honors program, and also Regent Scholar. I'm a UNMC graduate from the Biostatistics department, also Regent Scholar, and I'm a 2025 August PhD graduate from statistics. I work remotely as a senior data scientist for a large organization for which I deploy statistical, artificial intelligence, and machine learning techniques for things such as rare disease detection and the gathering of hard-to-capture medical information from unstructured data from clinical notes. Forgive my voice and fatigue. I have been providing round-the-clock caregiving for my UNL freshman daughter, and presidential scholar, after she fell on the sidewalk, shattered her wrist, and had surgery this Wednesday, given lack of proper salting of the sidewalk. I think that's important because I think it's a testament to what happens when an institution cuts corners, and it's that of possible irreparable harm. In September, and within the course of 30 minutes, my 2 daughters communicated to me that their degrees were up for elimination, statistics and meteorology. We were devastated as a family, and I regret urging them to attend UNL, as they had many options given their academic excellence. Over the last weeks, we've been distracted by discussion of metrics, cost, and this general failing to understand this motivation of why things like statistics and EAS are being proposed for elimination. I can only come to one conclusion given the absolute nonsense of 1, moving away from a fundamental research aspect that will affect the entirety of UNL, and 2, increased risk of death and destruction for Nebraska citizens given the importance of accurate weather prediction. Your moves must be political in nature, given a lack of transparency and fast-paced nature behind these moves. It seems that there are distinct political pressures that have come to roost in our state. For that, I can say that if your vote is of self-preservation in saving your own political career, you have opted out of public service, and you should recuse yourself from this line of work. What is done in the dark and behind closed doors will eventually come to light, and I hope that what you're doing today will make you and your families proud. Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. Dominic?
Good afternoon, Board of Regents. My name is Dr. Kimberly Stanke, and I serve the people of Nebraska. I serve Nebraska as an Extension Assistant Professor and statewide specialist in numerical literacy and data science with Nebraska 4-H and an academic appointment in the Department of Statistics. I'm speaking today because the proposed elimination of the Department of Statistics is not simply an academic restructuring. It represents a profound loss for Extension, for the university, and for the people of Nebraska. Statistics is the backbone of modern decision-making, from agriculture to public health, to engineering, to policy, to education. Beyond this, statistics and data science are gateways through which Nebraska youth and young adults enter STEM fields, develop data literacy, and build the skills Nebraska's workforce urgently needs. In my role, I design statewide programs that bring data science and statistics to communities that might otherwise never encounter them. For example, my data-driven statistics and data science field day brought high school students from across the state, as far as Scotts Bluff, right here to campus to learn statistical reasoning through hands-on challenges. Many of those students had never met a statistician before that day. The strength of that experience, the expertise behind it, the mentorship, the rigor, rests on the foundation of having a statistics department. Without a statistics department, Extension loses a key partner that helps us ensure our programming is research-based, relevant, and aligned with current scientific standards. This cut would disproportionately harm rural youth, first-generation students, and under-resourced schools. Students who rely on extension and outreach to see themselves in statistics, to see themselves as data scientists and in STEM for the very first time in their lives. Nebraska's industries, agriculture, healthcare, manufacturing, natural resources are all becoming increasingly data-driven. Eliminating statistics reduces our capacity to train the next generation of analysts, data scientists, and STEM leaders. The proposed elimination of all academic programs directly contradicts the land-grant mission to serve the people of Nebraska through education, innovation, and opportunity. I urge you to consider the long-term cost of eliminating statistics, not just to the university, but to every community and to every Nebraskan across all 93 counties that we serve through Nebraska Extension. As the state's flagship land-grant university, Nebraska deserves to grow its capacity in data science and statistics, not dismantle it. Thank you for your time and for your commitment to the future of Nebraska.
Dominic, you're up, and Judy will be number 2 spot.
Hello, Regents. My name is Dominic Sander. I am a senior statistics major here at UNL, a Regents scholar, and a lifelong Nebraskan. Growing up just outside of Lincoln, it was pretty much a given that I would be a Husker someday. Both my parents are Nebraska born and raised, have been Husker fans all their lives. My mom even graduated from UNL with a master's in speech-language pathology. Obviously, I'm here to voice my opinion on why the university should not cut statistics. First and foremost, I would not be standing here if it weren't for the UNL Department of Statistics. My final college decision was between Nebraska and Iowa State. When it came down to it, though, I knew I could get just as good of an education at UNL, if not better, while also staying close to home and getting the opportunity to be a Cornhusker. Like me, many people choose where to go to college based on the strength of their degree program. Even though it was new, I could tell a lot of time and effort was put into the program to give students every opportunity to succeed. I also know that overall academic standing is another deciding factor in college decisions. As a university, shouldn't we strive to be recognized for our academic excellence? After all, that is, or at least should be, the main goal of any higher learning institution. Unfortunately, it appears as though Nebraska is failing, colossally. According to the U.S. News and World Report, the University of Nebraska-Lincoln is ranked 159th nationally in academics. The next worst Big Ten school, Oregon, at 98th. We're not just in last place, we're being obliterated. Not only that, but as many before me have pointed out, Nebraska is the only Big Ten school that is not a member of the AAU. Do you truly believe that cutting these programs will help our standing with the AAU? We all know the answer was a resounding no. As a statistics student, I can't even begin to imagine the loss this university and state will face if the department is cut. I may be biased, but the quality of staff in this department is unmatched. I have had incredible support from everyone I've had the pleasure of learning from. I've been challenged academically more than I had ever been before, and I'm a better statistician because of it. I've developed skills well beyond the scope of any statistics degree that will help me be more marketable to future employers. And I couldn't have done it without the incredible faculty like Dr. Blankenship, VanderPlas, Howard, Hofmann, Ghosh, Bilder, Eskridge, and so many more. Retaining these faculty in any way possible is the best thing the university can do for itself. I am so incredibly proud to be a part of the Department of Statistics, but I am not proud to be a Husker. The lack of transparency and outright refusal to work with those directly impacted by the cuts is despicable. You can be sure the university is burning bridges with hundreds of future donors with these cuts. To all the members of the Board of Regents, I thank you for your time, and I ask you to please make the right decision. Please. Thank you.
Thank you, Dominic.